Celestial transits, these rotational planets. Around these parts we got high standards, seeking the truth, wisdom at once. We're coming from the stars above. This is Moonday Tarot, the one and only Kelly Volcana. I hope you're ready for some giggles, and of course we hope you got some wiggles. Strap in and get ready for some cosmic wisdom of ancestral understandings. Moonday Tarot. Bitch, it's Moonday.
What up? Hey, what's up, you guys? Check out that timing. That was literally perfect timing. Mic check. Mic check. Just double checking. Wrong mic. Okay. Mic check. Hey, that's better. Okay. All right, my friends. What's up? Hello. We got Edward in the house. We got False Reality Check in the house. Ronan's been here since like 7 p.m. Hello, Edward. Word. I actually grabbed some hot chocolate. Some medicinal hot chocolate with some other spices in it. Made with some local raw honey. Heck yes. Okay, just want to double check my sound before we get going. Hello to all 6 of you in the YouTubes. 7 lives, nice. Fair enough. Yeah, Wednesday's kind of a tough day. There's a lot going on Wednesdays. I'm not sure if Chance's Vibrant's still going, but I tried to time it for when Vibrant was like supposed to end, but it's been going really late lately, so who knows, but it's all good. Yeah, it's I got it from a local a local goddess. No, not Rachel, not that local goddess, but a local lady that does like hydrosols and grows a lot of her own herbs and stuff. So there's a bunch. It's like adult hot chocolate. It's cocoa, but also like fuck, what's in it? Elderberry, yarrow, cardamom, a little bit of ginger, some cayenne, and some other stuff that I don't remember. What's up, JLo? Hey, hey, girl, hey. So a blessed solstice, everybody. I'm so happy we made it. We made it. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Okay. If you made it this far into the year, you've survived some crazy shit. Good job. You have survived some crazy psychological bullshit. It's ongoing, obviously, but we're not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the beautiful Capricorn season and the lovely, lovely solstice that we're having right now, and the rebirth of the sun, the birthing of the sun, the rebirth of the sunlight. Bruised and battered, but stronger, Ronan says. Absolutely, 100%, brother. Sorry, adjusting my mic. I think we're good. Hell yeah. Okay. Gosh, where do I even want to start? Where do I even start? Let's start with just like riffing on what Capricorn is first. And let me just say, I've been I don't know. I think it's an interesting anecdote about when I learned I was a Capricorn rising and a Capricorn moon. So when I first got into like tarot and astrology, now understand I grew up in a pretty like Christian home. Like not quite Southern Baptist Bible thumping, but almost that bad. So just getting into tarot and astrology and stuff was already like, ooh, don't don't tell mama, you know. But I was like, all right, that's fine. We can still get into this. We just you don't tell mom, it'll be fine. And I thought for the longest time, based on the time of birth that my mom gave me, that I was a Scorpio rising. So I was also getting into tarot at the same time, and I'm sure most of you guys watching here are familiar with the tarot card associated with Scorpio being the death card. So I was already like, whoa, I'm the death card? That's so gnarly. And I was like, just like coming to grips with what it means to be Scorpio rising and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. I like intensity. Okay, cool. And then I went digging and found some like birth record stuff that show my time was clearly a way different time. Like it was a good like almost an entire day different, like 20 hours difference. So anyway, plug this new time in. It turns out I'm a Capricorn rising, not a Scorpio rising. Well, the tarot card associated with Capricorn is the devil, and I'm like, I'm the devil card. What the fuck? Coming from a super hyper Christian home, there's a lot to wrap your mind around. Yep. Good times. Yeah, dude. Well, okay. It's a good hoodie. It's a good band. But anyway, hilarious. Good times. Funny anecdote. So yeah, that was an interesting time wrapping my mind around that and coming to grips with that, especially like with what people say about the devil card. They're like, it's addiction and toxicity and obsessive and controlling. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? Eat the bugs. Yeah. So anyway. I think that we do each other a disservice when we talk about only the negative aspects of any kind of archetype, or or the only positive aspects of the archetype. I think we do a huge disservice when we only look at one and not the other, especially when it comes to different placements in the horoscope or different signs. If we only talk about the intensity and the death and rebirth and the betrayal of Scorpio, but we don't talk about the healing and the renewal and the regeneration as well, and the purity. We do everybody with Scorpio placements a huge disservice. Same thing with Capricorn. When we only talk about like the controlling and the restriction and how bad that is, we do Capricorn a huge disservice. So let's start with just talking about what Capricorn is. um First of all, just on an astronomical level, hey, blessed Yule, my friend Chris, hello. So just on basic astronomical level, Capricorn season begins when the sun ingresses into tropical Capricorn. What does that mean? It means that the sun has reached its most southern spot in the sky, where it rises and sets in the most southern place and is directly overhead of the Tropic of Capricorn. Tropikos in Greek means turn around, and solstice means stop. So the sun stops over the Tropic of Capricorn and then turns around and begins its northern journey again. Yeah, dude, 1221. I have a special relationship with 1221, so kind of interesting that I decided to stream today. Word. So for those of us that are in the northern hemisphere, this marks the beginning of winter, but it also marks, today was the shortest day as far as hours in the day go rather. It was sunset came way too quickly. I'm sitting on at my desk working on this piece of leather, this belt for a customer actually. And then before I know it, I'm turning on lamps because I can't see what I'm doing. Like it's crazy. But this kind of a day, this is an important part in the yearly cycle where we're supposed to be a little bit more introverted and a little bit more, not necessarily down or sad, but we're supposed to honor that darkness. This is where I bring back up this idea of dark and light and only focusing on one and not the other. We're supposed to be honoring the dark. We're supposed to be honoring that rest time, right? If you're in the northern hemisphere right now, or right now where false reality checks at, they had a foot of snow, you know. Everything is asleep. Everything outside is asleep. It is only us in our extremely unnatural way of living where we are not asleep when the sun goes down. We have all of these artificial lights, and even the idea of Christmas with all of the twinkling lights, like they can be really nice. I have a disclaimer: I'm not a fan of Christmas. But when we have all these lights and all of this like joy, 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 happy, 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 and we're not honoring the rest. We're not honoring the quiet, the slowness that's intrinsic to the sign of Capricorn. Still snowing. Good times. Yep. It was negative fucking retarded outside today and yesterday and the day before that. That's my new unit of measurement. I stopped counting at negative 20. Yeah. When batteries instantly fail, it's too cold for life. So, yeah. Anyway, some themes of Capricorn that I think are important to acknowledge, other than just the control and the structure and the governments and stuff that go along with your standard Capricorn delineations. Capricorn is about the foundations. It is about solid structures. Capricorn and Saturn represent crystals, crystalline structures. I like thinking of ice crystals, actually. Yeah. Yes, Martin, grand solar minimum for sure. But also this is just standard Canadian weather. This is nothing unusual for us. It's just fucking cold. Um, yeah. But anyway, structures, foundation, the roots. Some other really important Capricorn words is Capricorn is all about time, the passage of time. And there are a couple, at least, astrological schools out there that think of the archetype of Capricorn as those that kept the time, the stone builders, the ones that built monuments in order to track the passage of time. I love that interpretation. That gets my juices flowing, especially when you think of Capricorn as very old things. This is another oh, it is not early. Martin, when I grew up, as I was growing up, we designed our Halloween suits to fit over top of snowsuits. And then for the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so, we haven't needed snowsuits on Halloween. This year we needed snowsuits on Halloween. That's normal. That's normal. It's not early. It's always cold. Okay, anyway, sorry. Back on track. I love that interpretation of Capricorn. This idea of it being the circle of grandmothers that pass down the generational wisdom that they had from their grandmothers, that keep the time, that ensure that things happen when they're supposed to happen, to, you know, create this safe space. Even if it's stuff like, yeah, you know, if we don't get these seeds into the ground by this time, then we won't have enough time, Capricorn time, to grow the crops that we need in order to survive the winter, right? So Capricorn represents everything that's very old, stone. Saturn, of course, as the ruler of Capricorn, represents things like lead, very heavy things. Another big Capricorn word on the more quote unquote negative side of things is guilt. It's really interesting, that concept of guilt. There's healthy guilt and unhealthy guilt, obviously, right? You can manipulate someone that feels guilty, so you have to be really careful with that. There's some interesting power dynamics that come to mind when I think of that word. But guilt is said to be a word associated with Capricorn. So that's really interesting to me. I mean, I guess what's healthy guilt and what's unhealthy guilt? I guess that's an okay place to go. Healthy guilt is I did something wrong and now I'm going to fix it, right? Whereas unhealthy guilt, I feel like if you don't let go of that, the guilt. Oh yeah, mothers-in-law are good at the guilt thing. If you don't fix that thing that's wrong and the guilt stays there, well then it's supposed to be like motivation for you to fix your behavior or change your behavior, not fix it, but change it into, you know, just to be better. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that definitely fits the Capricorn theme of striving towards that mountain peak, right? Going towards whatever that ideal perfection is. And guilt can be a great motivating factor. Just how I talk about it is funny to me, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, guilt's not a bad thing, but it turns into a toxic thing if you don't move through it, or if it turns into shame. And guilt and shame are two very different things. They have a similar kind of feeling in the body, but shame I feel much deeper in my stomach and in like the knots in my back. Or guilt is I did something wrong, and shame is I am the thing that's wrong, right? And I don't think shame is exclusively a Capricorn theme. Guilt certainly. Where But anyway, where do I want to go with that? I don't know. I have a lot of these feelings that come up around Christmas, so I guess that's why I'm talking about it. You know, growing up, I used to actually feel guilty accepting presents. Like, why? Um, why was that even something that I held on to? I don't know. There's lots of deeper things going on with that, but I don't really know what my message is, except it's a weird Capricorn thing that I am admitting to. So anyway, Capricorn season, yay! Oh man, I hope that you guys are having a good solstice. I have been I've had candles going all day. I've got a nice candle beside me going. Had some nice incense burning earlier. Was just, enjoying some quiet downtime today. And I hope you guys did too. I hope you're taking a bit of time to just reflect on the year that just passed and what kind of seeds and what kind of foundations you want to build going forward. Like what exactly is your overarching vision, right? That's what Sagittarius season is about. It's about the vision, the meaning, the quest for truth. What is it that you want to see for the future? What is the guiding principle that's carrying you along? And I really like thinking about the signs as building on one another. If you think about it in terms of houses, the first house carries an identity or a task. The next house next to it is the resources needed, um, and in some cases, the resources gained from the previous house. So if you take that and apply it to signs rather, with Capricorn, we're building on the vision of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we built a vision, we had a meaning, a guiding philosophy, all of that stuff. And now Capricorn is what resources do you need to achieve that vision, right? And also, what things are you gaining from that vision? What are the resources gained and needed? So that's kind of an interesting way to think about it. In some cultures, I just learned this today actually. Apparently, in Germany, it is more common for them to consider the winter solstice, so today, as being the first sign rather than like most American astrologers, for example, consider Aries to be the first. Right, and that makes a lot of sense, both astronomically and just on a conceptual basis. You need the initiating power, right? The inspirational spark of Aries to get things going. But apparently in Germany, it's more about the winter solstice being the beginning, and that also kind of makes sense because it's about foundations and structure, right? It's about the long-term planning needed. It's about whatever you're doing, whatever you want to achieve, it has to be thought out. It has to be thorough. Um, there has to be some kind of organizing structure behind it, or it's going to fall apart. It also makes sense because Germany, me up in Canada and Germany, we're quite far north. So winter solstice is pretty serious. Like summer is, or the daylight is really short. So that as soon as the light starts growing again, like it's pretty noticeable, um, and severe. It's noticeable and severe. So it kind of makes sense to me. So let's pull up this solstice chart. Just gonna zoom this in a little bit. So this is set to my location. And by the way, the exact ingress of Sun into Capricorn happened at 2:49 p.m. Mountain Time today. That's the sun there. So because this is set to my location, this is what the sky looked like at that time, right? Sun was getting ready to set. Moon was just about to set, as this is the horizon here, and Mars is about to rise. So this isn't now anymore. It's a little bit later. Now, obviously, it's 9:24, not 2:40. But regardless, if I were to make predictions about the solstice and the energy that's going to play out, I would set this for the local space where I'm at, just like I did for this, and look at this chart. And this is what I would use to predict for just my location. Now, because I'm not talking to people that are just in Calgary, this won't be accurate for all of you. So, what some astrologers will do is some astrologers will go off of this and just use this for everybody. Some astrologers will set this to, let's say, they'll put Capricorn rising and talk about it like that, like this. Some astrologers will set it to Aries rising and talk about it like this. To be perfectly honest with you, I haven't decided how I want to talk about it. Lately, I've been putting the sun sign rising to give you guys an idea of like, hey, these maps turn. So let's talk about this as Capricorn, right? And I think that's what I'm gonna do. What's up, PK? Hello, Stacy, Jenny B in the house. What up? What up? I don't know what's with the accent today. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, it's been a couple weeks, eh? It's been a couple weeks. I missed you guys. Hello. I've been busy living life. It's been a good time. Okay. So, yeah, let's talk about this like this. So something really important to note earlier this week, I think yesterday. Was it yesterday? Tuesday? That sounds about right. Jupiter ingressed into Aries. So as you can see right here, it's kind of small on the screen there, and it's right on top of the black line, but Jupiter is at 0 degrees and 7 minutes of Aries. So that's significant, okay? Why is this important? Anytime a planet changes signs and moves over a cusp, it's a big deal. This particular cusp is an even bigger deal because this is where the spring equinox occurs, right? Northern hemisphere spring, southern hemisphere fall. This is where the equinox occurs. It's considered a very sensitive point in every chart. So Jupiter flirting with that point and moving back over it again is not a little deal. I'm curious if anybody noticed that shift. I'm really curious also because they say that anytime a planet changes signs or stations, and by station I mean stops in the sky to either turn retrograde or turn direct, that it so-called saturates the chart. So it energetically it takes over, and that's just what you feel. So I'm really curious if anybody noticed a big shift internally or externally yesterday, or even the day before that. What's up, Charlotte? Hello. Wow, JLo, that's wild. What's up, Brayden? Word. This is Giggle Tarot. Anyway, curious if anybody noticed that. The other thing, though, is I have been learning and testing for myself something a little different. It's like, yes, this saturates the chart, but we don't necessarily feel it on Earth until it gets triggered. So I'm kind of curious. I'm playing with both concepts. So if I bounce between things, that's why I'm testing things out. But anyway, as the sun ingressed into Capricorn, it made an exact square to this Jupiter. So just that alone makes this ingress a powerful and potent one. Any aspect with Jupiter, whether it's a sextile, a square, a trine, an opposition, any aspect with Jupiter blows things out of the water. Like it expands things in a major way. When it's a square like this, so squares tend to bring some kind of tension. It's an aspect of Mars, meaning that there's some kind of action that has to be taken. A square with Jupiter is really interesting. I don't know. It can either be a huge blessing or bring about so much friction that you're forced to make some kind of change, right? And obviously, this kind of a square is going to play out differently for everybody depending on your personal charts. But um, essentially, the areas of life is like there's some area of your life that requires some kind of routine and structure, and it's the Capricorn house. So depending on what your rising sign is, this can fall in any of 12 houses. But there's an area of your life that requires structure and discipline and routine and planning and organization. Um, and the Aries part of your chart, especially with Jupiter, is all about the quest for being a self, a whole self, an individual, bravery. These are some major theme keywords for Aries. And with Jupiter, it's like confidence. Sometimes these things, right, being an individual, but also routine, sometimes these things can, there's some tension there, right? You can also think of Capricorn as like the father and Aries is the son. They don't always get along, right? The son has to break away and go his own way and do his own thing to be his own man, right? That's another obvious way to look at those two archetypes. But here's the thing, in the Capricorn map, since we are in Capricorn season, y'all get to hear about the Capricorn map now. It's my turn. In the Capricorn map, this fourth house, this is what you're rooted in. So at the same time as this Capricorn sun, and the theme of the season is about like what's the long-term game here, at the same time as needing to individuate away from something, you're also being asked to be rooted in a strong sense of individuality. So that's a fun square to play out. It's a very fun square to play out. I can feel it. I can feel it quite literally. I wanted to stay home the last couple days. So I stayed home today for sure, because Jupiter in the fourth house is like, it's time to expand into your roots. It's time to expand your home base and really pay a lot of attention to home and find joy in the home, or in the ancestry and in the roots, and literally like anchor down. And sun moving into my first house, just as an example, it's like, okay, well, now I'm ready to shine a little bit, right? Okay. Oh, I love you too, Brayden. It has been a solid solstice. It's been nice and quiet, and that's I like that shit. Oh man. Heavy and sluggish. Fair. 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 Oh my gosh. Saturates the chart. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say that cusp is arbitrary though. The equinox cusp you're talking about, the solstice cusp, it's not. There might not be any stars there, but this particular cusp where Jupiter just crossed, this exact cusp in tropical is where the ecliptic, which is the sun's path, intersects with the equator, the line of the equator. So it's not arbitrary at all. In fact, when the sun is here, it rises directly east. It's the only time that it rises directly east and sets directly west. Otherwise, it's to the north or to the south. So it's not arbitrary at all. Anyway. Okay. Back to what I'm talking about. Okay, so what else? What else is going on in this chart? Okay, so we talked a little bit about those themes. We have Venus and Mercury both visible in Capricorn right now as well. This is awesome. So Mercury is in his shadow period, meaning that in not terribly too many days from now, he will turn retrograde. So Mercury's cycle, he'll reach his maximum elongation, it's called, station, and then retrograde and go back towards the sun. This time he'll pass in front of the sun or in between the sun and us. So that's a whole new cycle beginning for Mercury. So we'll get there when we get there. Just talk about what he means in Capricorn right now. While he and Venus are both in Capricorn, this is an earth sign, okay? So we are talking about resources. We are talking about earthly matters. Capricorn is very much everything to do with the 3D physical reality, being in your body, feet on the ground, hands in the soil, things that matter to the real world. I've heard Capricorn also be talked about like, okay, this archetype is about learning what the rules are. And then once you've learned what the rules are, playing the game to the maximum of your ability. I kind of like that. Interesting. It's an interesting concept. Do you feel that way because everything in your chart is above the equator, or does that matter? I'd have to look at your chart again. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the dark horizontal line is the horizon. So yeah, everything above that is in the sky. Everything below that is underneath. I forget, Charlie, are you a daytime or a nighttime chart? Is your sun above the horizon or below the horizon? Just curious. For Tropsplay. You're welcome, PK. You're welcome, buddy. Oh man. Okay, so anyway, let me finish talking about this. So this sign has a lot to do with resources, right? Planning out how you're going to use those resources, all that lovely stuff. While Mercury and Venus are both here, just in general for everybody, this is an absolutely fantastic time to really hammer down like, hey, what is my budget for the next year? Like really practical, no nonsense, solid. I'm going to use the word practical again. Responsible things like that. Like, okay, what exactly are my long-term goals? What exactly do I want to accomplish in the next year? Now is the time to plant those seeds. Don't wait for the Aries ingress. The Aries ingress is when you launch things. The Capricorn ingress is when you plan what you're going to launch at the Aries ingress. Okay. So this is like, what exactly do I need to have established in between now and March so that when March comes around, I'm ready to go, right? That's how I have been thinking about this this solstice point. So with Mercury, we're talking about planning. We're talking literally. Mercury is about talking and speech and writing, but we're talking about planning. We're talking about transportation. We're talking about commerce. With Venus, we can be talking about values and money as well, yes, but also beauty and artistry. Venus has been visible on the evening side, so at sunset on the western horizon. So is Mercury right now. Both of them are visible. So if you get a chance at the next sunset, if you haven't seen them yet, take a few minutes to go and see them. Definitely. What's up with Venus? Venus is my favorite right now. Okay. That's what's up with Venus. I'm loving it. Venus is also trining Uranus right now. So this is also kind of interesting energy. I wasn't really going to talk about that, but Venus and Capricorn, okay. I've heard some astrologers talk about this energy as being like boss bitch and CEO in the house and stuff like that. But is Capricorn always the boss? I don't know. Are they in charge? Yes. Are they CEO? Arguable. I see Venus and Capricorn though as finding beauty in being organized, finding beauty in minimalism, in decluttering, in not necessarily getting rid of things, but in completing things, finishing things. Also finding beauty in simple structures, simple or elegant structures. Like I think of like classical beauty, like classical architecture and classical poetry and um, uh, reading or enjoying old books. That would be Mercury, or old art. That's the kind of stuff that I think about with those 2 planets in Capricorn. So it was really interesting actually that Charlotte posted it in the universe chat, some pictures about this teeny, teeny, tiny book written in Greek and Latin. It looked old as fuck. I was like, "Wow, that's super appropriate." But anyway, so you could find some enjoyment in that kind of stuff just to celebrate this energy. Um, Capricorn also carries this archetype of, like, the wise woman, right? Your grandmother, your grandfather. Taking some extra time, around Christmas, actually, I think it's really appropriate. Sun ingresses into tropical Capricorn right before Christmas. Taking some time with your grandparents to really, maybe like, hey, grandpa, like one of my grandpas used to play the violin. So Christmas time, we'd get to hear him play the violin. Um, just like asking them, um, taking some time, Capricorn, to go over with your elders. They don't even necessarily have to be your direct elders, right? Like, not everybody's on good terms with their family. I totally get that. But spending a little bit of time talking to somebody that's a little bit older than you, Capricorn, old, um, and asking them about what kinds of things they did to get through the winter. Like, what are some of their traditions? That's another beautiful Capricorn word, tradition. So, what are some of your traditions? Um, I could tell you about all of mine, but it's not really why I'm here today. And also, I hate Christmas, so my tradition is hating Christmas. Oh, yeah. But, mm, yeah, I've been enjoying going back to older traditions, right? Like, since I grew up in a super Christian home, uh, that was, like, my way of rebelling. It's like, "No, it's Yule." But at the same time, like, that's true to the Capricorn archetype of, okay, what's an even older tradition? And will doing that help me get through this season? And the answer is yes. You know, what did you do to get through through the winter? Yeah, dude. Um, Stacy, can we talk about can we talk about how you used to get through the winter? Oh man, nice. But yeah, dude. So it is a great question. It's a really important question right now as we're heading into some really serious recession, right? So recession, I mean, restriction and great time for Chance to drop in. What's up, Chance? We're talking about the opposite of top hopping. Oh man. But yeah, like, so one of my grandmas, she's 94, 95. She turned 95 this year. And the last time I saw her, I was asking her about, like, what was it like growing up? What'd you guys do? How how did you have enough food for winter? And it was actually, Stacy, funny you say that. It was actually so good for her to talk about that stuff. Um, they had their own garden and they had animals, and it wasn't even that they Oh, man, perfect. It wasn't even that they, like, walked uphill both ways barefoot, but in a blizzard, they had a horse and a sleigh or something, and during a blizzard, they would, pile into the back of the sleigh, cover themselves with a blanket, and the horse knew the way to school, so the horse would just take them there, and there was a stable there, and they had to take care of the freaking horse while while I was at school and, make sure it had food, um and then the horse would take them back at the end of the day. It knew the way, and that's what they had to do. Um, anyway, very oh, absolutely, Brayden, yes. Um, it's just one of my favorite things to do when talking with older people. It's so much fun. Like, "Hey." And I think honestly, I think they love it. I think they really just love being asked, about life, right? So yeah, anyway. Oh, dude, that's awesome, Chance. I'm glad you had fun. Anyway, so ask some old people some questions. That's what that's what I'm encouraging you to do. But also get yourself organized, right? Like I said, the Capricorn ingress, this solstice is absolutely fantastic for thinking about the foundations that you need to lay down before the Aries ingress. Because once we hit equinox, man, it's go time. There's no time for planning at this stage. It's initiate plans. So this is the planning stage, especially while Mercury and Venus are both visible in the sky right now. It's freaking fantastic. It's literally like the optimal time um, for setting intentions and getting ready for whatever the next year is going to bring you, right? And I know I already said that, but I just really wanted to hammer that home. Okay, so let's see, what else do I wanna talk about here? Yeah, I mean, while we're going through Capricorn season in general, so Saturn rules Capricorn, right? So it's important to check out where's Saturn, what's he doing? Well, Saturn's in one of his own signs, but is technic in technical terms, he's blind to what's going on here because they're beside each other. They're said in traditional aspect theory to not be able to see each other. But since both of these signs are Capricorn ruled, it's kind of like he's got like the inside scoop of what's going on. And what that means is it's supposed to make whatever happens this season kind of like mm, buffered a bit, um, less difficult. Like there are potentially fewer obstacles while we're going through this season. In theory, I mean, you're never going to get away from Saturn completely while you're in Capricorn. Saturn's home, but we'll see how that goes, right? Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, everything going through Capricorn. I mean, Mercury's already made this aspect. Venus is making this aspect like right now and into tomorrow. We'll be trining this Uranus and node adventure. This is beautiful, really, on a personal level, because we've had all of this energy focused in the Taurus house, and this is a nice and supportive aspect. So it's like whatever kind of stuff you're planning to do for the next year, and whatever you're doing to recover from the last year, um, this is just an ability to help us both beautify and solidify these two places in our chart, right? Wherever Capricorn and wherever Taurus are. Uh, and vice on the flip side of this is also, I like the PK said radical. Where did you say that? I'm scrolling back. Hold on. Radical traditions. That's very Uranus and Capricorn, but interesting you say that. Radically rooting yourself. Exactly. I like this radical. I like that this radical word is coming up because that's super. It's a very Uranus word. So, the Uranus influence, it brings this interesting and eclectic and unique kind of energy. So we're focusing on structure, right? We're focusing on tradition. We're focusing on building an extremely strong foundation, but it also has to serve some kind of higher purpose, some kind of there's an individuating force that's operating kind of behind the scenes, right? There's this I don't want to say alien, but kind of alien, otherworldly force, I guess you could say, that is influencing what's happening in Capricorn. Radical is the word of the night, I guess. Doesn't mean close to the source. That is a oh really? Oh, I like that. What's up, Crypto Tales? Well, radical is the word of the night. Well, then there you go. Hey, you know what? This fits in with the theme of the astrology. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good, buddy. As above, so below, my friend. And interesting that radical was the word of the night. I don't know. I think it's interesting because just a few minutes ago, in my location anyway, when I started streaming, Uranus was actually culminating on the MC. So, topic of the day, topic of the night. Anyway, serving to origination, primitive, original, underived, uncompounded as a radical word. Implanted by nature, native, constitutional, as the radical moisture of a body. I love that. That's so cool. Oh man. So Uranus represents um rebellion, a force of individuation. I love that. That's super cool. Love it. Okay. Where was I at? Let's move on to the new moon. Let's talk about the new moon. So anyway, as I was saying about when things change houses, but also what potentially triggers them. One of the things that they say in Hellenistic astrology is that the moon is the thing that must translate light back to Earth. Um, and they say that once the moon aspects something, then we really experience it. It's like the moon acts like a trigger. And I'm really curious about this, and I've been testing it out. Yeah, it's pretty close. Been testing this out. So Jupiter changed signs, right? We may have felt it, may not have felt it. I think I did. But this new moon, this is going to be like a hyper trigger. You see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. That's at 1 degree. 1 degree. So literally, moon moves into Capricorn, aspects Jupiter, and then new moon occurs like within an hour or so. Ah, you're not that late. What's up, Romy? What that means is we may have felt the energies of Jupiter, right? Moving into Aries. May have felt that. But any kind of like, maybe not any, but big events that are going to be triggered by that will really be triggered for sure by the new moon. So the new moon, think of it as a seed being planted. And what this is a magic beanstalk. Okay, this is a magic beanstalk. This is something that I hope you're ready for, because whatever you're starting Capricorn season, it will carry intrinsically this energy of Jupiter in Aries with it. So make it a good one. Make it a good one. Really put some serious, another Capricorn word for you, some serious thought into what it is that you want to build for the next year. And whatever that intention is, when you initiate it, it might, because of the nature of Capricorn, it might start out small. It might start out slow. It might seem like it's taking forever to build. But trust me, trust me, it will carry this energy of Jupiter square, which again, like I said, blows things out of the water. It will carry this energy of Jupiter square. It will carry the energy of a visible Venus and a visible Mercury. This is a potent time to be starting anything. Thanks, you guys. I missed you guys too. Well, you know what? I needed the time off as I yawn. Yeah. But anyway, whatever you're starting, like I said, it's going to be potent. It's going to be big. don't be surprised if you don't see results right away. That's the thing about Capricorn and about Saturn is you have to keep working at it. Um, it's not like it's just going to be like instant in your face. Although, Jupiter, might conspire a bit to accelerate some things, especially in the sign of Aries. But it's like there must be a solid structure in place in order for this transit to bring you the best results possible, right? Because let's see if I can think of an appropriate example. Have you guys ever played with dominoes? Good night, Charlotte. See you in the morning. Have you guys ever played with dominoes? You know how long it takes to set those fuckers up? Takes forever. But then once you have all of them set up, and let's say you're good enough that you made like a cool picture or whatever, it's so satisfying to push the first one over and watch them all go and do their thing and their pattern, them all like you know. Um, but if you rush it and you push the first one over too early, or you accidentally knocks them over or whatever, it's so disappointing. Then you got to start over again from the beginning, and it sucks. It's so much more satisfying to take the time, again, Capricorn, take the time to set it up, to do the prep work, to have whatever structure in place that you need, to then set it off at the appropriate moment, right? Domino mother trucker. Yeah, exactly. Good time for false flag, eh? Yes, PK. I would not be surprised. Wouldn't be shocked in the slightest. What's up, Gordy? As far as like mundane events go, I wouldn't be shocked to see really significant market issues as soon as Mercury turns retrograde in Capricorn. I mean that's kind of a given, to be perfectly honest with you. I feel like that's obvious. That's really interesting, Braden. Costa Rica and the moon sharing a paramagnetic comparability. Paramagnetic comparability. Something about the soil. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, moving on. As far as like false flags go, I could see them trying to hijack this energy, but I don't know. I would expect to see Saturn or Mars involved in some way. I'm surprised we didn't see more go down when the lunar occultation occurred, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, nah, I don't really want to talk about that tonight. So let's oh, compatibility. Gotcha. I was like, what? Hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I did not hear him talking about this, but I would be really curious about like mineral content in the soil in Costa Rica, or um electrical current moving through the soil. That would be really interesting. But anyway. Okay. Let's see here. I think I'm done talking about the new moon. I think you guys get it. It's about what's your long-term goals, right? What kind of like routines and habits and things that you do on a daily basis Are they helping you build towards your goals or not, right? These are some preliminary questions I kind of asked as I was contemplating whether I was going to stream on Monday or not, and then decided not to. I was like, no, I'll wait. Um, if you feel like you're rushing something right now, Capricorn season is encouraging you to like take a step back, chill for a moment, and think about what the next 6 moves or 7 moves are going to be. Is what you're building right now, is the foundation that you're laying right now, um, is it going to last? Is it going to be something that will pay off and serve the next 7 generations or not? Right? Is it something fast and easy, or does it serve the long game? Wow, I've never been to Costa Rica. That would be cool. And the other southern places, but not Costa Rica. Anyway, so these are things to think about. Also, like, what kind of traditions are you okay with? Um, while Saturn is in while Saturn is in Aquarius, since Saturn rules Capricorn, we do have to think about the Aquarius angle of this. Since Aquarius is about innovation and change and radicalization, also networking and stuff like that. And Aquarius, based on how I was talking about it earlier about how the houses build on each other, Aquarius represents, in this case, for this Capricorn season, the resources that Capricorn needs, but also the resources that Capricorn gains. So, with Saturn being in Aquarius, while we are planning out and mapping and organizing ourselves for the rest of the season, the rest of the year, there is this heavy focus on resources. Really, it's a very it's a very resource heavy map. I'm not gonna lie. Um, some of those resources are not necessarily physical, tangible assets, but with Aquarius being an air sign and being about community and whatnot, like, what are your support pillars? What kind of community structures do you have? Um, that are helping you build this foundation. Um, Most of you guys here know that I'm pretty into like the freedom cells thing and Derek Bros kind of stuff. So um, I'm really interested in the exit and build type thing, right? Or build and exit, depending on how you want to go about that. So, what are you building and what are you exiting from? What are those goals actually? I love that radical is the word of the day. That's awesome. Thanks, Chance. uh, Saturn, by the way, is at 21 degrees Aquarius. Just putting that out there. If you know, you know. Um, oh, so is Mercury. That's neat. That's fun. Okay. Let's get into the tarot, shall we? So I think I missed putting it in the description, but if you want me to pull some cards for you, um, follow instructions on the ticker. And I'm going to go through my usual Pisces through to Aries, go through all the signs, and we're going to talk about this new moon and how this new moon is likely to affect your sign. Let me just put it back on. The new moon, by the way, will be on Friday on the 23rd. Just changing my houses. Okay, there we go. I think you guys said it was nice to have this kind of visual cue. I don't know. I like it, so I'm doing what I like today. Yeah. Okay. Pisces rising. Specifically Pisces rising, but this may resonate if you're a Pisces sun or a Pisces moon as well. Capricorn is your 11th house. When we're talking about a new moon with a visible Venus and a visible Mercury in your 11th house, this is absolutely amazing if you're doing any kind of community building or community outreach. If you are focusing also on what the long-term goals of your career is, that's also a great 11th house theme. The 11th house can represent like rewards and things that you get from the efforts that you put into your 10th house being career. So 11th house is a money house, 11th house is a community house. And it's really about, especially for you Pisces, what is the long term game? Yeah. Oh, it's going to be Friday, whether you like it or not. Or Saturday if you're in Australia. So that's really what this new moon is for you Pisces. And the season is doubly so, really just about strengthening your network circles. Um so like, what kind of groups do you belong to? What do those even look like? That's really interesting. Capricorn on the 11th. Fascinating. And Jupiter's just moved into your second house. So actually for Pisces, if you're a Pisces rising, you have two of the three like money houses lit up like a Christmas tree. So I could see that square. Here, I'll kind of show you guys. I can see that square between Jupiter moving into the second house and the new moon in the 11th house playing out. Like, Jupiter moving through the second can be all of a sudden gaining a ton of money, but also can influence a lot of spending too. 'Cause Jupiter goes both ways. It's like this generosity kind of sets in. And since Jupiter is your ruling planet as well, it's you are focused significantly on your values, your resources, right? The things that support your physical body, but also like how you feel about those things. Values and valuables. That's a heavy focus for you right now. Anyway, I can see that square playing out like, these are my values and I'm sticking to my guns here, especially with it being Aries on the second. Like, that's valuing individualism, which is really interesting for a Pisces ascendant. Wow. Okay. Try not to get lost in the waters of Pisces here, but sticking to your values, sticking to your guns, really wanting to spend your money in the way that you want to, but also trying to curate some kind of presence, um, or successfully curating a long lasting presence, right? I can see Pisces rising being really focused on building a strong, not necessarily large community or a large, yeah, I don't really associate the word large with Capricorn, but some kind of community that's rock solid. That's a Capricorn word. Rock solid, that is going to last for a long fucking time. So, what do you need to spend, or how do your values need to shift, if they need to shift, in order to successfully do that? That's the question for you. I could see this being an extremely, well, potentially an extremely profitable time, if you don't burn all your money, right? So, if as long as there's not no hole in your pocket, um, this could be a super fruitful time for planning how you're going to continue to make money. No, well, not even just money, but continue to gain in different kinds of resources, no matter what kind of events come around, right? So there was, I think I talked about this the other week, but there's more than just one form of capital, right? It's not just all about money. That's what we go to automatically in our Western society, but there's such a thing as cultural capital, right? There's labor that you can share, and that is a form of capital. Knowledge and culture are forms of capital, right? Trade and barter. So these are things that you may be thinking about and might be focused on. So let's see what you got, Pisces. I think I'm going to there. Damn. Okay, Pisces. So you got the Eight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Jupiter coming out strong. Alrighty. So Eight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm seeing this. Okay, both of these figures. This is both of you. On one hand, it's like your hands are tied. There's so many things that you want to do and want to accomplish. So many different directions that you want to go. It's almost like there's all these different opinions, all these different thoughts and opinions from other people um, that are saying, no, 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 that's a bad idea, and like shooting you down or saying go this way or go that way, and they're trying to orchestrate how you orchestrate yourself. Like I get this like weirdly controlling energy. The wheel, since this is part of Jupiter, Jupiter is your ruling planet in traditional astrology. Yeah, it's Neptune. It's Jupiter, okay? This is you saying, okay, my space. Maybe you need to actually physically do this and create a circle of protection around you, you know? Oh, really? How's that? Okay, how's that? Is that better? We're testing it out. Pisces in the house. Hot chocolate in my mouth. Okay, good. One day I'll get a proper soundboard. Okay, Pisces. Back to the beginning. So this is you, motherfucker. Alright? You have to let go of other people's opinions. Don't give a fuck about them. There is a ton of energy moving into your 11th house, like I just talked about, which is the house of like friends and your wider social network. Gordy, my shrooms just hit. Fuck yeah, just in time, bruh. Love you, buddy. So it might be really beneficial for you, Pisces, to create a circle of protection around yourself. Physically, mentally, you can visualize this if you like. Or Godspeed. What's up, Lily? Godspeed. Have a great ride. You can visualize this or you can create a literal physical circle. But having some boundaries is really important. And that is an excellent Capricorn word that I can't believe I didn't bring up yet. Yeah, I'm not doing shrooms, but Gordy is. Uh, boundaries is a fantastic Capricorn word. And with Capricorn falling on the 11th for the Pisces map is actually brilliant, because one of the things that Pisces lacks is boundaries. So, or struggles with, I should say, not lacks completely, struggles with. Because it's not the Pisces way. The Pisces way is all encompassing and swimming in the waters of imagination and closing your eyes and visualizing and just flowing with it, right? Whereas Capricorn's like, here's the structure that you must fit in. But working with those boundaries, right? Especially if it has to do with other people that are intentionally or unintentionally messing with your energy field, you know, then that could be a really important practice. Okay. I love that the Wheel of Fortune came out for you just in general as the middle guiding energy of this spread. It's fantastic. It's like, boom, Jupiter in the house, bitch. Like, that's Jupiter moving into Aries to me is like, I'm back. What's up? By the way, Jupiter will go very quickly through Aries. He'll be into Taurus by, I think, May. Like, it's a really fast transit now that he's going direct. Kind of a big deal. I think everybody's going to feel it. But him coming out in the middle of the spread for you is like, it's a nice, gentle reminder that, I mean, Pisces knows this, but all endings are beginnings and all beginnings are endings. There really is no beginning or end point to a circle. That's time. You know this with your pocket dimensions, okay? So even if there must be some endings in some areas, right? And even if boundaries feel like endings, it's still important to have them. Anytime you push out or cut off something, you're actually leaving yourself more room. Like, every no that you say is a chance for you to say yes to something that you really actually do want. I love also that the Four of Pentacles is coming out. This is literally the sun in Capricorn. It's the last decan of Capricorn. And it's about material security. Okay. We have this weird and backwards idea in a lot of the spiritual community that, like, the body is bad and money is bad, and it's it's really fucked up because we live in a physical 3D realm, right? This is a really fantastic period for you to secure your physical realm. Yes, Pisces is about dreaming and about getting lost and healing and spirituality and all of this beautiful ethereal things, but you are still in a body. This is what Capricorn reminds us. You are still in a body. You still have to take care of that body. These two houses being lit up for you, I don't think it's an accident. I think that this is a great period for you to really secure yourself, to feel like, you know, whoever you need to say goodbye to, whoever you're going to welcome in, whatever part of the journey you're on right now, that in the end, you are ultimately supported by the universe. You are supported by the universe. This is not about getting into scarce or lack mentality and like going into like toxic hustle culture so that you can secure the bag, because that is definitely a possibility with these kind of aspects going on in your chart right now, Pisces. But it is about really understanding, like, hey, you will be supported. You are supported, not will be. You are already supported. It's just about accepting that support, accepting those resources, and really working on semi-permeable boundaries, right? Deciding what you want to let in so that you can let in what you really need, right? Radicalize that 3D. Okay, PK. You're on a timeout. Relax. Okay. Oh. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. Boom. There's gifts coming for you, Pisces, okay? Accept them. Accept them. And stop caring about what other people think, because they don't mind. If them bitches don't pay your bills, pay them bitches no mind. Okay? Word. Okay, Aquarius. Word. Exactly. Aqua. Love you guys. How you guys doing? Hold on. I need my dagger. Hold on. Ugh. Thank you, Sarah's Fox. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, this is a lot of energy in your 12th house. So let's see here. Jupiter just moved into your 3rd whole sign house. Move that a little bit closer. Sorry. So Jupiter just moved into the 3rd house. Let's talk about that first. So 3rd house is all about communication, writing, short distance travels, learning, your tools. I like to think of the 3rd house as your tools. What kind of tools does Aquarius need to cultivate? How do they need to speak, or how do they need to communicate? Well, in order to do the Aquarius map, right, in order to be weird and radical and different and eclectic and serve some kind of higher good, which I cringe. I fucking cringe at that. But in order to do the Aquarius thing, they actually have to have tools related to Aries. They have to learn how to be an individual, actually. They have to learn how to communicate what's on their mind without worrying about people's feelings. They have to cultivate bravery, right? Aries as a theme for a tool. Think about that. It's the warrior, but it's also bravery, right? It's, what does a warrior do? Yeah, they go and fight, but they also defend. They go into places where others fear to tread. Jupiter moving through here is really, giving a boost to giving a boost to all of those tools that you've been cultivating, right? And the square to the 12th house. Well, this is really interesting. All this energy in the 12th house. I mean, I would not be shocked right now if there was Aquarius rising out there that were having wild dreams. The 12th house represents a lot of our subconscious fears. Not all of them, but a lot of them. The ones that we don't even know that we have. So 4th, 8th, and 12th, these houses here talk about subconscious shit. They're also spiritual houses, right? All 3 of these are actually very spiritual houses. And those things are intrinsically tied together because we have to face our subconscious stuff, our shadow, as it's known by Jungian psychologists, in order to really dive into real spirituality without just bypassing, right? So all of this activity in your 12th house Aquarius is bringing to light and bringing a focus on different subconscious stuff, fears, and maybe even subconscious guilt that you didn't even know that you had. And that it's time to release that stuff. I wouldn't be shocked at all if you were having really potent dreams right now. I wouldn't be shocked at all if you were just wanting to retreat and not necessarily be in the public eye at the moment. And that's okay, right? That's okay. If you do feel like that, Aqua, honor that. Honor that. Especially because some of that subconscious stuff is likely to come out through very blunt and forward speech. And that might not be a bad thing either, right? If there's stuff that you need to say and speak, get it out. Oh, Edward, I missed you. You're sweet. Okay. The seeds that you're planting with this new moon have a lot to do with, what are your long-term spiritual goals? What are your long-term, what's something that you want to not necessarily accomplish, because the 12th house isn't necessarily about accomplishment. It's more about releasing and letting go. So maybe there's actually some kind of subconscious guilt and shame that you need to release and let go of. I would not be surprised if that was true for most Aquarius. Yeah, dude, me too, 100%. Um, it's all about being in the body. I learned a lot from MSAR too, but it's really interesting because um when I found Sarian, um I was doing practices, uh somatic healing practices or somatic experiencing practices that were basically literally like, okay, what is the sensation in your body right now? What are you feeling? What is that tied to? And then not going into the story, but literally just feeling into it. And it's a big deal. But yeah, I resonate a lot with that too. And literally you do feel all this subconscious shit in your body, right? What I learned from those practices and then finding MSAR and him just, philosophically confirming everything that I had already learned and then going deeper with it, which was great, was that every pain and feeling in your body that you have, every sensation, 'cause sensation and feelings to me are two different things. A feeling is I am sad. A sensation is I hurt here or I have tension here. Every single one of those, like a knot in the back, a random sharp pain or a numbness or a tingling or, you know, um, a stomach flip or literally fucking anything was tied to a feeling: sad, angry, hopeful, happy, um, confused, whatever. And those also were tied to some kind of belief or some kind of hidden, deep, yeah, usually a belief or a thought that was tied to a belief. And going into the sensation, but also not getting lost in the story was the only way to help move through those things and release those things. Yeah. Yeah, it's important. It's important because, like, for example, I carry things in each shoulder, right? And they're different. One is my anger shoulder and one is my shame shoulder, literally. And if I'm feeling more in one shoulder than the other, I know how I feel based on that. um And sometimes those feelings, actually, I would say all the time, those feelings are not even from something that happened in the present moment. They're usually tied to something from the past. Um, and yeah, that is fucking shadow work. Okay, anyway, moving on. So Aquarius, this is the kind of stuff that you're probably going to be doing this month, okay, is diving into the subconscious feelings and sensations, especially with Capricorn being this house here. Like I said, it's an earth sign. It's about embodiment. It's about working with the 3D physical reality. As above, so below, my friend. As below, so above. Oh, I love RAR. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, exactly. So when you get lost in the story, I guess this is important to talk about. So I guess I'm just going to keep talking about it. When you're feeling into the sensation and you're like, okay, this is the sensation, and it's like it's a black spiky ball or whatever. And then you identify the feeling that's associated with it. Okay, so black spiky ball, shame. Um, so oftentimes it moves actually. Like you'll be feeling into it and then it moves to a different area of your body and you need to follow it. Um, because it's usually not one thing, it's usually a ton of things tied together and it's not logical. It's like the opposite of logic. It's like don't try to use logic. You'll wreck your brain. You'll just melt. It's like dividing by zero. Just don't. Um, so anyway, follow the sensation, identify the feeling that's with it, and then as you're releasing that feeling, it can be really easy to get lost into the story. But getting lost in the story disconnects you from the body, and the point is to stay in the body. So once you identify it, it's usually, especially if it's something really traumatic, the story will pop up and come to mind, right? You'll start seeing or visualizing or just being reminded, oh yeah, that's from blank, or that's when this happened. It can be so easy to get lost in that story, but that's not the point. The point isn't to go into the story. The point is to stay with the body because you're not in that moment anymore. You're now. You're not then, you're now. So acknowledging the story is one thing, right? Like, yes, that's when this happened. Yes, that's that particular event that occurred. Acknowledging it is great, and then you can go back to the sensation and just stay with the sensation. This is yeah, thanks buddy. I love that. Um that's what I mean by not getting lost in the story, just to elaborate on that a little bit. Okay, so Aquarius, I would not be shocked at all if that is something that you might need to do. And I love actually that they're talking about massages and stuff in the chat. Fantastic, right? Fantastic. Considering Jupiter just moved into your third house, and this is in a square to the new moon in Capricorn, something that could be really helpful for you to assist yourself in releasing any subconscious stuff that might be coming to the surface because of all this activity in the 12th house are physical activities like moving meditations or going for massages and things like that. Why? Third house is like kind of it's about movement. It's about speech and vocalization and communication, but not all of our communication is spoken. In fact, a lot of it is through our body. And with Aries being such an active sign, this is why I'm suggesting some kind of moving meditation or something along those lines. Like talk therapy is great, but the process that I just described, the moving through the sensations and not getting lost in the story and following the physical sensations in the body, that's not talk therapy. That's EMDR that I'm talking about. I'm talking about not talk therapy at all. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah. Absolutely. Get a massage for your horse. Absolutely. And you know what? Good for those horses. They need massages too. Okay, let's see. What else? Another valuable tool that can help you right now, Aquarius, if you feel like you need it, is journaling, right? It seems like, I don't know, to me, it seems obvious, but journaling is a very appropriate third house activity that can help you alleviate some of this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, tarot. Back to the tarot. Sorry. Never mind. I'm not sorry. I take that back. Said what needed to be said. Yeah, that would be really cool. Exactly. Stuff your stories in a sack. Santa can come pick them up. Oh my god, you guys. Oh man. Promised myself I wouldn't talk politics. Promised myself. There's a video that the government of Canada just released. A nice little propaganda piece with our I know. God damn it. A nice little propaganda piece with our lead COVID doctor, Teresa Tam, calling up Mrs. Claus. She's in this stupid fucking Santa hat. She dials up Mrs. Claus, and Mrs. Claus answers, and it's all like, "Oh, Santa's been very hard at work. All these little boys and girls, they should be on the nice list. Everybody deserves stuff this year, and this is how you can stay on the nice list. Stay up to date on your jabs." Wash your hands. Open the window. Stay home if you. I was like, holy fuck. Oh my god. Nothing's sacred. Nothing is sacred. Okay. Aquarius. So a lot of 12th house activity going on, man. It's pure propaganda. It's not even good. It's the worst editing ever. Ugh. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Bring it back in, everybody. Bring it back in. We're talking about Aquarius. Yeah. I'm glad we can laugh about this. What's up, Nicholas? Blessed solstice to you, my brother. Happy Yule. Ooh. Okay, Aquarius. Word. So the middle card that came out was the Two of Swords. So it's like there's an important decision that you need to make. You need to choose a path. On one side of the Two of Swords, we have the King of Wands. Confidence. So stepping into your power as an inspired, embodied being, as a leader, as someone that leads from the heart, that has a full treasure chest, ready to share the gold with with anybody and everybody around him, because he is overabundant. He knows where his source is. His source doesn't come from anybody around him or nothing material. He knows that he's always going to be provided for. The other path is the Ten of Cups, but it came out reversed. It might not be actually that this Two of Swords is about making a decision. It might actually be just about deciding what to release and what to release so that you can have the other. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. So okay, so there is a decision. I lied. There is a decision, okay? That deck sounds freaking awesome and I want it. It depends. So keep in mind that these are general readings. It might not resonate with you. Disclaimer. But anyway, I don't know. So here's how I read the Ten of Cups, all right? Sometimes in some readings, this is like happiness and marriage and everything that you could possibly ever wish for and desire in the universe. It's a family. It's all of your cups are full. It's abundance. It's prosperity. It's blah, 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 blah. It's all of your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Especially in this deck, right? It's depicted really nicely in this deck. I'll show you guys. It's like there's a nice fucking rainbow. There's a couple kids. They got all these pots. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It looks like it's about harvest season, you know. It's really nice. But it came out reversed. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like trying to choose between being an individual or being like, I don't know. The word that comes to mind is like beholden. Beholden to some kind of responsibility or family or something. But with the Ten of Cups reversed, it's either like that energy is blocked or just exactly not quite available to you right now. So it's like with the Two of Swords, it's like you're trying to decide between, do I keep going after this thing that is just maybe unattainable at this particular moment? Or perhaps it could actually be not that it's unattainable, it could be that it feels fake or it feels wrong in some way, like it's too fluffy. That's not quite right. The way that I usually read the Ten of Cups is like oversaturation or addiction, or escapism. And reversed in this deck, you could read it like that. It's like it's not actually a happy Ten of Cups. It's supposed to be happy. And if anybody from the outside looked in, they'd be like, why aren't you happy? They're so nice. They seem so perfect. And it's like so wonderful. Like, what could possibly be going wrong right now? You're crazy. But like, you know the truth. And I mean, look at this path, man. Like, neither of those paths look very nice. They don't look very nice. It's like there's no easy decision, right? You kind of just have to grin and bear it. So I don't know, Aquarius. I don't know what your story is right now. Except I know from the astrology for sure that there's a lot of subconscious stuff coming up. And it's interesting to me that we spent a bit of time talking about following the sensations in your body and stuff and really needing to work through some of that on the physical realm and not getting lost in the story. Because I feel like with the Two of Swords coming out, you are getting lost in your head. And like, it's like, I don't know, I think the Eight of Swords is more ruminating energy, but if you're trying to make a choice, and I'm telling you right now, on one side of this, one side of the decision making lies some kind of independence and inspiration. And the other side involves like happiness question mark, right? It's not a hell yes. But you're here trying to get advice from a tarot reader, you're in your head. The Two of Swords to me is saying that you need to make the decision from an embodied place, not from a place where you're stuck in your head. So I think, Aquarius, what you need to do is, not that I'm telling you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do. Close your eyes. Okay. And imagine what this choice is, what this decision is, and picture yourself in each situation and give yourself some time just imagining the one side. Like, okay, if I say yes or whatever, this is what this will look like, and feel what that feels like in your body. Okay. Make some notes, write it down, and then do the same thing with the other side. Make some notes, write it down. And make sure that you're not just glossing over details, right? If there are flags, watch for the flags. Pay attention to the flags. They're there for a reason. More flags, more fun? No, it's not fun. Trust me. More flags is not more fun. Take some time feeling into both decisions, especially since there's no Earth that came out. And then once you've felt into either side, then make that choice. And I'm going to tell you right now that whatever thing makes you feel more inspired and more like it lights a fire for you, that's the way that you need to go. Okay? Capricorn. Happy birthday, Capricorn. What's up? You fucking stoked? You should be. I'm stoked. You should be stoked. Okay. It's Capricorn. New moon in the first. Hell yes. Hell yes. Okay, so Venus and Mercury visible in the first house. Fucking fantastic. I hope you're feeling beautiful because you're looking beautiful, okay? Don't feel guilty if people pay you a lot of compliments right now. All right, just accept it. A word that you can contemplate and try to embody is graciousness. Try to be graceful and gracious. Okay. So anyway, Jupiter ingressed into your fourth house, fourth sign, fourth house. Like I said at the beginning, if you skip past the beginning, I forgive you. You're forgiven. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of focus going into what keeps you rooted right now. So this is what Jupiter is asking of you as it's moving into Aries, or moving through Aries, really. What are some of your family traditions? What aspects from your ancestry do you want to keep alive? What things from your ancestry do you want to keep alive? And it could actually really be triggering more of a focus at home in general. Like the fourth house, as I was saying with Aquarius, the 12th, the 4th, and the 8th represent like some of our subconscious shit, some of our deeper feelings. The fourth house, along with representing physically your physical living conditions, it also talks about your deeper hidden emotions. The fourth house is the stuff that we know about and bury. The 12th house, we don't know about that. The fourth house, we know about it, like our family history, right? The family secrets, and we bury those. Jupiter moving through here can bring some healing to those areas, and it can also blow things out of the water, so to speak. So use those moments, right? Use whatever, friction or fire or whatever is being ignited by Jupiter's presence here to do some more work. Yay, Capricorn, work. Accept it for what it is. That's reality. And that's just it is what it is. So another thing that this Jupiter transit could really bring is you might just really be delving into your roots and your past and your ancestry, right? Like I was talking a little bit at the beginning about like sitting down with grandma and grandpa and talking about like, hey, what did you do to get through the winter? How did you survive the 30s? If they lived through the 30s or whatever. You got any tips for me? Or can you show me how to make something? Especially since Jupiter in the Capricorn map rules the third house of skills. Can you show me how to make something, right? Can you show me how to do something? And that would tickle their fucking fancy. So that would be a great thing for you to do, Capricorn, this season if you have some surviving grandparents. If not, maybe it might be a good opportunity to like go and volunteer at some old folks home or something like that, where you can spend a little bit of time, Capricorn, with some old fucking people and like listen to their stories and learn a little bit, to sit down and shut up and learn from someone more wise and more experienced. Yeah, good times. So new moon in the first house with all this beautiful visible energy. This is your season, Capricorn. It's time to shine, especially with Venus visible in the first house. Like that's really beautiful. This season will be about like, hey, what are your personal goals, right? Capricorn is your first house. That's your personality. It's your physical body. It's your path in life. You are learning boundaries. You're learning structure. You're learning how to stay organized. For some of us, it's easier or harder to do depending on some of our personal placements. Like if you have Uranus and Capricorn, like myself, it's like, good luck. Good luck with structure and routine. I rebel against it. It's not good. But maybe this is an excellent opportunity for you to go over some of those things and just do a little bit of a reassessment. Like, is what I'm doing, does that fit where I want to go in life, right? Am I just doing, I mean, personally for me, as the sun's moving through Sag, I just want to hibernate. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go into a hole and escape and not be seen. Now that the sun's in the first house, are there any like habits or things that I picked up while the sun was moving through Sag that I need to get rid of now? Because often sun moving through the 12th house, like some of our more self-destructive tendencies have a tendency to pick up. So as sun is moving through the first house, it's like you need to shed that. And especially with it being Capricorn, you might be seeing consequences of that. So just be mindful. Just be mindful of that, Cap. What else do I want to say? You just Hey, Nicholas, I just saw the news about your cat. Found your cat hunting by the street, set a trap, and he's home safe. Oh, that's beautiful, buddy. That's really beautiful. I love that. Yeah, exactly. Build a fire and enjoy 100%. Okay, anyway, Capricorn. So, as you're shaking off the last season, literally or figuratively, this is an excellent time to really just be in your body, if there's stuff about the season, like myself, that you really despise, why? Maybe this is a really good time to really dive into that. Venus can bring a nice healing touch. We don't really think in modern astrology of Venus as a healer, but she is. She absolutely 100% is. So, and Mercury rules your 6th house of health. So if there's any health stuff that you want to address while you have all this energy in Capricorn, do it up. It'd be a really good time to recommit yourself to any kind of like practices that you were doing that you might have, let go of, or start new ones, right? Especially with this new moon energy. Especially if you pick something that you can do from home, or if you pick something that will help you release subconscious shit. So I'm thinking like yin yoga, right? Stuff that's not necessarily fast or about building muscle, but more about release of the fascia and release of tension and stuff like that. That kind of thing. Yeah, you can hit the jib if you want. Nicholas, hit the motherfucking jib. Yeah, you can do that. Do what you want. I mean, yeah, Aries. I mean, Mars is muscle, but Aries muscle structure. Whatever. 54 degrees in Cali, and you thought it was negative retarded yesterday. Ugh. Yeah, I love yin yoga too. That's my jam. I'll just start crying middle of the yoga class. You guys think 54 is cold? Pff. Pff. It's nothing. All right, Capricorn, what we got for cards? I love Americans. You guys are the best. Oh man, it's okay. Yeah. What's up, James? James and Rachel. It's Jem and me. Or is it Rachel and James? Yeah, dude. I'm I need to get on my passport. It's beyond time. It's beyond time. It'll happen. It'll happen. I am the worst for procrastination. Okay, I don't know. Happy Yule. Oh my god. Down in Missouri, you say? Eh? Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, did I tell you guys the gentleman I'm dating is American? Fucking. Okay, Capricorn. What do we got? How the wheel again? What's up? That is what's up. Okay. So, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to go to Washington. It's cloudy. I've heard. I don't know for real, but I need the stars, man. Is Walla Walla cloudy? That's what I need to know. No, he's got permanent residence here. No, I can't do long distance. Are you kidding me? Fuck that. I'm an earth sign. I need the snuggles, okay? Okay, anyway. Oh my god, Capricorn. 5 of Wands. Fun? Question mark. The wheel. Hello, Jupiter. And the 3 of Cups. Okay. Interesting. He's from Arizona. Anyway. Okay. Oh my god. All right. So 5 of Wands, the wheel, and the 3 of Cups. The 5 of Wands can be anything from like some nice light competition to like squabbles. I love that there's a rooster in the picture. I'm like, oh, it's a cockfight. It's a pissing match. Oh, I get it. So that's a thing, especially with Jupiter here too. It's like, I don't know. I feel like Jupiter moving in the 4th is inspiring some like hidden confidence. And that's a good thing. I think that yeah. Yes. Anyway, this is a good thing, okay? As you are gaining in confidence, right? Especially as you becoming better at a craft, right? Especially for Capricorn, right? Capricorn, you start refining a craft and get really good at something. As you're getting good at something because you're practicing it, right? People start getting jealous. I don't know if you've noticed this, but they're like, damn, Capricorn, you shining real bright right now. I don't think I like it. I think you need to knock you down a little bit. Or like they could try. I mean, they can try. Or, you know, like just this interesting ego thing happens where it's like, oh, okay, I see you shining. I'm gonna shine a little bit brighter. Or I'm gonna try and take you down so that I look like I'm shining brighter. If that kind of thing is going on, ignore them, obviously. But also like don't back down. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing exactly whatever it is that you've been doing, whatever formula you've worked out. It's going great. And Jupiter, good old Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune here is bringing you both lessons and blessings. So Jupiter moving into the 4th house, this is, I mean, like I've said, this is bringing stuff that you know you've buried down up to the surface. that could be part of what is inspiring some of these cockfights, for lack of a better word. And again, like, how do you get better at something? Do you get better at something because it's easy? Do you get better at something because you're never challenged? I don't think so. You need to be challenged. So if that's what you're experiencing, like, this is an opportunity for you to use that as motivation to just keep studying harder, right? Keep working harder. Don't stop. But also remember to celebrate, okay? The 3 of Cups is fantastic. Don't forget that you have a wide support network, right? You have tons of pillars of support that you can lean on and go to. So, yes, Capricorn, we're all about the work. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But take time for fun too, right? Take time to celebrate with friends. And actually, you know what? This could just be games. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. This could be games, like games of chance or games of skill. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this big issue. It can be having fun. Okay. And I have a feeling that like Capricorn would have fun playing competitive games, right? Like, just don't get too serious about it, right? The 3 of Cups is supposed to be a fun energy. This is supposed to be about um enjoying communion with friends in a safe space. So it can't be so safe where like if you use the wrong word, people are triggered and get like mad. But I mean safe as in like you can have a friendly competition with people and uh it doesn't break out into like fist fights and shit like that. Yeah, which can happen when libations get a little out of control and spirits start flowing, you know what I mean? So be cautious with that Jupiter energy, right? Like I said, Jupiter will blow anything up, good and bad. So again, everything in moderation. But you're Capricorn, so like why am I telling you that? You know all about that. So yeah. Anyway, I feel like this is a really beautiful week and this new moon just this whole Capricorn season is going to be fantastic. Sounds like a Christmas, Gordy says. Haha, hilarious. Yes, I'm hoping actually to play some board games with the fam jam for Christmas. I think that'll be fun. So anyway, I think this is a beautiful week. E- expect some kind of blessings from Jupiter. And you know what? Every time you come around the circle, okay, as you're going around the wheel, it's a different circle by the time you get back to the starting point, right? You're different. You've changed. You've grown. You've gotten better at something, or you've gotten, um, you've seen the lesson before, so you're a little bit more prepared when you come up to it again. Or you've played this game before. You're a little bit more prepared, and you have some more skill in your pocket, right? Oh my god, the chat's going crazy. Oh my god, Jenny, calm down. Anyway, Capricorn, I think it's a beautiful fucking week. Underneath, okay, try to keep it light. Okay, try to keep it light so that it doesn't turn from a 5 of wands into a 5 of swords type situation, because that is what is underneath the deck. So be cautious about keeping your words under control so that it doesn't turn from something that's supposed to be light and fun and playful into something that is hurtful, right? Anyway, that's what I gotta say for you, Capricorn. Yeah, okay. Sagittarius. So Sag. Capricorn is your second house. So if you are a Sag rising, especially with Sag Sun, Sag Moon, you may feel this as well. Sag season, that's really interesting that you say that because I feel like it dragged on forever. I was like, is it done yet? I have a special hatred for Sag season. That's me. This is my Capricorn showing. I'm like, fuck Sag. every like Sag Sun individual I've ever met though has been like just amazing. But anyway, okay, so Sag. New moon is happening in your second house. I love this. I love all this energy in your second house, actually. It's beautiful. So Venus and Mercury here, super supportive, right? So Venus became visible while she was still in Sag. So I said this to False Reality Check to Legs around her birthday. And I'll repeat it here for anybody that is Sag rising or a Sag sun or whatever. Because Venus became visible while still in Sagittarius, it is said that she brings blessings to you for the rest of the cycle. So it is my hope, Sagittarius, that Venus does in fact bring blessings to you for the rest of her cycle. And I'm hoping that, Venus, Venusian themed blessings, especially in the first house, include things like beauty and ease and a little bit of comfort and sweet things. And sweet things come in many forms, right? As I said before, she like Jupiter, they're both considered to be healers in certain schools of astrology. Venus in particular for you rules your 6th house of health and your 11th house of your friends and wider social network and stuff. So as she became visible, these areas both got a boost, right? It's like Venus coming back into power, basically, is how you can think of it. It's like now these houses are like open. It's almost like they're opened up and are able to operate better. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, all this energy in the second house is fantastic for, we're going to talk about Capricorn, securing your physical resources. So what forms of capital do you have? Are you aware of all of the kinds of capital that you actually possess? If I were to ask you, other than money, what you got? I know FRC's got chickens. I know she makes some kefir, you know what I mean? So these are really important things to think about going into the global but also national financial situation that we are currently in and headed into, right? Recession's only getting worse, my friends. I'm not sugarcoating that, right? This kind of energy though is fantastic for helping you really identify what you have stockpiled. Is it going to last? And like, how can you make the most of what you've got? Also, second house is about values as well as valuables. So while it is important to really focus on your physical security, because that's definitely a second house thing, survival, it's also about reassessing or just assessing really like what are your true values, like what do you find more important? Security, integrity, accountability, what are some other Capricorn words? Responsibility, family, tradition, progress, like you can write out a huge fucking list of different types of values, and just kind of like, how would you rate each one? Where are they on your priority list? Anyway, the square to Jupiter just moved into your 5th house. This is really cool. So 5th house is fun. And you just me talking about what the second house is and what the 5th house is, can you feel that square? It's like values, resources, what you actually have in the bank, and then fun. Sometimes fun is in direct conflict with what you actually have. Risk. Sometimes taking huge risks can seriously pay off, or it can bankrupt you, right? Totally depends. Oh, yes. Oh my God. That sounds amazing. I'm jealous as fuck. It is super. Ugh. Ugh. Why do you hate joy? I don't hate joy. I just hate Sash season. One day I'll show you my chart and it'll make sense. I swear to God. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, sorry. Got distracted. Chat. I love you guys. All right. Oh my God, I'm only at Sag. I better hurry up. Anyway, you can feel that square, right? Fun and joy and like, children. You spend a lot of money on kids, right? But also like risks and artistry can really pay off at the same time, right? And the things that you give birth to, both on a physical and a metaphorical level, can also alter your values and change things, right? So Jupiter moving through your fifth house is really beautiful for any kind of like creative endeavor at all, whether it's wanting to have children or whether, hint hint, nudge nudge, or whether it's wanting to launch some kind of small business or work on your small business, right? Those are two very distinct fifth house things. Jupiter moving through here is fantastic. And the square to the new moon in the second house is really like, okay, it's this is the dream, if this is what you really love and this is what you really want, how are you going to support that? Right? That's what this new moon will be about for you, Sag. What cards we got? Dude, I might need to do a part 2 tomorrow. Holy shite. Oh, sweet. Wow. Okay. Well, you just came out, Sag, so that's excellent. Hello, Temperance, Alchemy, Art, the Feralt. Is Rachel still here? How do you pronounce that? Help. Anyway, Temperance. Beautiful. This is literally Sag's card. So, love to see you coming out, Sag. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. It's always auspicious when your card is in the spread, especially in the middle like this. That's great. So, what are you balancing out? What are you balancing out exactly? What exactly are you tempering? So on one side of Temperance, we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. On the other side, we have the Ten of Wands upright. So that's interesting. And we are talking about the second house. Six of Pentacles makes sense to me. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. I kind of feel like you were in a period of giving, and now it's time for you to receive. The Six of Pentacles is supposed to be a balanced energy, but he is reversed. So it's like it was not balanced. There was definitely something going down where the energetic exchange was not even. And as I'm sure you are aware, it must be even. You can't give and give energetically, emotionally, physically, without it coming from somewhere, right? And a natural and healthy relationship, there's an ebb and a flow, a give and a take and a give and a take. And it's not even taking, it's receiving. This has been burdensome. I like that this is the 10, though, the 10 of Wands, meaning that it's coming to a close. It's coming to an end. It's like you're noticing what's happening or noticing what has happened. And you're ready to, like, take... Have you ever been stuck in this mode where you're offering something to somebody and it feels like it turns into an obligation? It's like you're doing it to help them, but all of a sudden it feels like it's expected and you have to keep doing it, even though it's like that's not what you want to do. And I know not everybody deals with this. This is, I think it's a boundary issue thing. It's definitely a boundary issue thing. So if you struggle with boundaries, it's like you're giving, and then all of a sudden it feels like you have to keep giving, especially if you're dealing with someone that is manipulative, or it's like they start manipulating you, so you feel like you have to keep giving in order to maintain whatever the fuck is going on. Right? False reality set check says yes, so okay, good, keep going. I feel like now you're realizing, hey, that's actually not helpful to me. This relationship isn't working. It's not actually an even exchange. And I see this as you being like, okay, I understand now. Time to give it up. Especially if you've got somebody coming into your energy field and saying dumb... Yeah, exactly. Took a while for the guilt to wear off, for sure. Exactly, 100%. Especially if somebody coming into your energy field and then being like, what you're doing is stupid. Blah, 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 blah. For some reason, especially people that struggle with boundaries and stuff, we get triggered by that and we have to feel like we have to defend yourself. As soon as you feel like you have to defend yourself, or as soon as you feel like you have to explain what you're doing, you're falling into a guilt trap. Right? You're falling into a guilt trap. And then all of a sudden you're giving more of your energy away than what's necessary. So I see this coming to an end for you, Sag. It's time to let go of that. Alex triggered me. Hilarious. So it's like, now that you're identifying that pattern, it's not like it's going to be an immediate thing, right? It's going to take a little bit of time. And you might even run into multiple scenarios where you're meeting the same kind of archetype that triggered that originally in the first place. And it's like, okay, here's this same archetype. I feel this energy is familiar. It reminds me of so-and-so. Once you realize, oh, that reminds me of that person that used to do that to me all the time growing up, usually a parent. As soon as you've identified that, it makes it 10 times easier to let go of and release. So if your values, right, second house, Capricorn, if your values are based on making other people feel okay, or like if your actions are based on other people making other people feel okay, definitely address that. If you're spending your resources and your time and your energy on making, like, explaining to other people or going out of your way to make, other people happy or approve of you in any way, the time for doing that is at an end. Okay. Now is the best time, really, I feel, to really reorient yourself and be like, okay, what vision do I want for my life, right? How am I going to take all of those difficult, sticky, icky not false, but toxic guilt and toxic shame, and how can I transmute that into fuel for myself, right? How can I actually take that and literally physically release it? That's the kind of shadow work that you need to be doing. All that physical shit that I was talking about at the start. Like, if especially if you have back pain, right? If you've got any kind of back pain going on, anything going on with your knees is Capricorn and Saturn, or anything going on with really any of your bones, then there's some kind of guilt that you're holding on to, probably. Um that you can work on releasing. And there's tons of different modalities for doing exactly that. And that's the kind of temperance that I see, and that's the kind of alchemy rather that I see you working through, Sag. And it's beautiful. You could also be using, since Jupiter is your ruling planet and he's in the 5th house now, you could be using different artistic pursuits for helping you release that energy. So if you paint or you draw or you sculpt or you make snow castles, find some way to artistically express whatever difficult shit that you've dealt with. Find some kind of like abstract way to express it and get it out. Oh, indoor garden. I love that. I love that. Yes. I love grain. Okay. Bread is my weakness. My weakness. I love bread. It's probably actually like my parasites love bread, but okay. Scorpio. There we go. What kind of seeds? Like cannabis seeds? Thank you, buddy. I feel like I pick up on your energy every time I do Sag, and I don't really mean to. But then, it's fine. But then I get messages from other Sages, and they say that it resonates. So it's not just you. What kind of herbs, Nicholas? What kind? It's the best hot chocolate. Oh. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know individual state laws. So, sorry, buddy. Also, thank you, Stacy. Just for being you. Oh, Magort basil. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Well, so do all drugs. They're just processed differently. Okay, anyway, Scorpio. Oh my god. Here we are talking about drugs, and we're on Scorpio. Of course we are. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Capricorn is your 3rd house. So, in order to do the Scorpio map, right? In order to dive into the intensity and die to yourself and be reborn to yourself and transform others and heal and feel, you must learn Capricorn skills. So I love thinking about these maps like this. It's so fantastic. So Scorpio is about deep, intense bonding, right? It's about the Kundalini snake coiled at the bottom of your fucking spine. Kundalini energy, sexuality, bonding, shared energy fields, right? It's like, it's really fucking intense. It's also about like betrayal and power and control and learning how to deal with that kind of stuff going on in your own life, and transmuting that energy. You must learn Capricorn skills. Things like boundaries. That's a Capricorn skill. Things like being able to say no, putting up walls. Structure. You must learn how to be organized. You must learn how to control the self. Right? Smoke weed every day. Ay. Sorry. Hold up. I want brothers who be acting real soft. Okay, sorry. So, new moon in the third house for you, Scorpio. Actually, this is a ton of energy in the third house. I'll not love it. This is really about like, since the third house is about skills, yes. This is helping you refine some kind of skills set that you have. Venus is definitely a word that I would use to, or refinement rather, is a word that I would assign to Venus for sure. Venus, Mercury, new moon. This is literally a stellium in the third house. So it's like, on one hand, this is inspiring important conversations, right? There's some conversation that's definitely going to happen that's really fucking pivotal and important, that will set in motion a series of events that will be very important for the rest of Capricorn season for sure, but also until the spring equinox, right? The next 3 months. Yeah, definitely the next 3 months. This is also helping you refine some kind of skill set that you have, or and I mean, the ability to effectively communicate. That is an important skill set that we're not inherently born with, especially if we grew up in a house where communication was shitty. Like if people withheld, or whatever. That can go over all types of shitty communication, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what to do with it. So if this is an area that you struggle with, right? Communicating your feelings, Scorpio. Communicating your feelings, or communicating your values, or communicating what you want to learn about, what you want to do with your life. This is a fantastic month for you to work on that. All right. Now, Jupiter just moved into your 6th house. 6th house is the house of routine and pets and health. Jupiter moving through here can be an incredibly healing force for any kind of physical stuff that you've got going on. So use that to your advantage, right? As Jupiter's moving through here till May, when he moves into Taurus. Now, the square between 3rd and 6th is really interesting. So one way that I like to think about this is, if we're unable to communicate, right, some of our feelings, or to talk about boundaries, or whatever the case may be, the square can be, if you stop up and you don't express outward, it can manifest itself as something physical coming up, right? And vice versa. If you have something physical coming up, it can be really difficult to talk about it, but once you do start talking about it and releasing the energy, you can help yourself heal. But again, a square is an aspect of Mars, meaning that there's an action that must be taken. It's not something that will resolve itself. It's something that you have to put in some work, some effort, which is another kind of 3rd house theme. Now, 3rd house can also be like short journeys, and it can talk about siblings, younger siblings especially. So, these are some things that may come up, but all this energy in the third house is really, at the end of the day, it's asking you to communicate, to journal, to write, to like express a lot of things. And Venus can help you do it in a more eloquent way. So take advantage of that energy. Also, because Venus rules your 7th and your 12th house, this season might really be bringing up, interestingly enough, some relationship stuff and some subconscious stuff for you to deal with and talk about, right? So that could actually be some topic of your conversations is relationship stuff and, hidden, your favorite Scorpio, hidden hidden subconscious things coming to the surface for us to deal with. I feel like that's just Capricorn season for everybody, but that's just me. I want to rock. Oh my gosh. You guys. Okay. Yeah, let's pull your cards. Scorpio. My gosh, it's 11:30. I think I'm gonna go right till 12 to complete the 12/21/12 adventure. Yep, I've decided I'm doing it. Also, I do have some cards to pull. I've got a personal pull for Sean. Sean Coulter. I think I will pull your cards after Scorpio, my friend. I don't think he's here right now, but I'll let him know the timestamp of when I pull his cards. Yeah, Nicholas. I don't want to be too tired and just rush through the last 7 cards, especially since I missed last week, and this is this is an important part of the year to do a good forecast for. Yeah, it's like tomorrow morning, which I know there's probably a lot of you that won't be able to watch it live, but that's okay because the recording will be here. Okay, so focus. I appreciate you, Nicholas. Thank you for showing up, my brother. Okay, Scorpio. Oh. Well, now. That's fun. Okay, so Scorpio got a 6 of Wands, victory and confidence. Ooh. Look at you, sitting pretty. I love that. Literally, that is the energy of Jupiter and Aries. No, sorry, Jupiter and Leo. Disregard that. Ace of Cups. And the Princess of Pentacles. Fantastic energy, Scorpio. I love that. So, whatever you've been doing up till now, keep doing that. Don't stop. It's bringing you to a place of victory. That's a lot of confidence coming out with the 6 of Wands. I love that. And then the Ace of Cups and the Princess of Pentacles. There's something new kicking off for you. Something new that has like some kind of promise. In your conversations this week, right? With this new moon energy and all this beautiful energy in the 3rd house, keep an open mind for keep an open mind and like be aware of any kind of conversations that you're talking about, like partnerships with, right? Because it's interesting. I just kind of had like an intuitive nudge to talk about Venus. I do love Venus. All right, so I had an intuitive nudge to talk about Venus in the third house. She rules the seventh house of partnerships, where the North Node and Uranus are right now. And we had these eclipses here, right? So the astrology for the last year has been setting you up, basically, Scorpio, to begin some new partnerships with people. And not necessarily romantic, okay? Not necessarily romantic at all. But I mean, it could be. We got the Ace of Cups, so I don't know. But it's been setting you up to receive or be given the opportunity, at least, to make some kind of partnership. Could be like a business relationship kicking off. You know, it could be any kind of one-on-one thing. But this is you contemplating exactly that. All right. So the Princess of Pentacles, it's brand new energy. This could be literally you talking with someone that's younger than you, like princess energy. Could potentially quite literally be somebody that is physically younger, or is just maybe a little bit less mature or less experienced in some manner that you are a little bit more so than, right? With the Ace of Cups coming out as well, this is really beautiful. So there's definitely potential for it to be something romantic for sure. But really with the Ace of Cups, I always like to see it first before the like exoteric romantic interpretation. I like to see it as you're finally like learning how to fill your own cup, so you are already emotionally and spiritually satisfied before entering into any kind of relationship with somebody outside. Because nobody outside of you can fill your cup in the way that a connection with a higher power and a connection with your own inner higher self can. So, with Jupiter having just gone through your fifth house, and like dipped back into the fifth house, and now is moving through the sixth house. By May, he'll be moving into the seventh house of partnerships. I feel like there are some kind of seeds being planted right now. Some early on conversations, some kind of communication is going down where you need to take a confident and a forward approach, where you need to really feel into this, this confidence, this Six of Wands energy, and put your best foot forward, right? Don't be afraid to have difficult conversations. Don't be afraid to talk to people, and like tell them how you feel, right? Tell them how you feel. It might just spark something, it might just spark something. You never know. And on the bottom of the deck, we also have the Three of Cups for you, Scorpio. I love the Three of Cups coming out as well, because this is really just a reminder to keep spending time. And I'm going to be talking about time a lot, I think. Keep spending time with people that help you see the real you, that are not afraid of the real you, right? Like, if you can be authentic with these people and honest with these people, which is a part of authenticity, obviously, then you're in the right place, right? What are you gonna do with your life? That's a great question, Fungamungus. Do you know that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's get some shoes. You guys know that? My Turn Christmas into a hockey game? Okay, Gordy, no. I don't know if that's what you were referencing, Fungamungus, but that's what I thought of the video of Kelly with shoes. Shoes. These shoes throw. Anyway. Maybe you're getting some new shoes. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is, but take some time this week, okay? Especially for Christmas. enjoy some time with friends. All right. Don't get too caught up. Don't get caught up in your head. And make sure that you're filling your own cup, right? Make sure that no matter no matter what kind of conversations or what kind of crazy shit unfolds for you, that you're still taking care of your own physical health, your own physical well-being, and your own spiritual well-being, right? Like I was mentioning with Jupiter moving through the 6th now, this can be a very helpful influence for healing, right? Both on a physical and a spiritual level. It could be very helpful for, again, I think I would just recommend this for literally everybody to do some kind of moving meditation with Jupiter in a fire sign now, focusing on being in the body and moving energy will just be helpful for everybody. So do that, especially with Jupiter in your 6th, and it'll be a helpful influence for you. Okay. Thank you, Scorpio. Okay, I'm going to end the collective signs there and come back starting with Libra tomorrow. And now I'll move on to the private, or not private, but personal reading that I got. So if anybody else wants me to pull some cards before I leave for the night, instructions are on the ticker down below. In the meantime, Sean has asked me, I've been thinking about joining and learning tarot scopes for quite some time. Is now a good time to take the plunge and act on it? Hell yeah, my brother, let's check it out. And you know what? I have your chart saved, Sean, so I'm actually just gonna, I'm not gonna show it on screen, but I pulled it up already because I was like, oh, that's a fun question. Much love to you, Nicholas. So I'm just gonna fucking look at your chart, okay? Because I can. So let's see here. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Cap rising. Okay, so yeah, so the moon is in the first sign, 12th house. Venus and Mercury visible in the first. Okay, so what's really cool, before I pull cards for you, my friend, I'll just talk real quick about the astrology first. So Venus and Mercury both visible in your first house is fantastic, actually, for you, specifically for looking at some higher education type stuff. And joining Michael's tarot scope school definitely counts as a 9th house endeavor. Absolutely, 100%. It's a school, first of all, but it's a school teaching like spiritual skills. So definitely a 9th house thing. In your chart in particular, whole sign 9th house is Virgo. But Placidus 9th house cusp falls in Libra. So the two planets that I would look at to be like, okay, to look at specifically for like higher education, religious training, that kind of stuff, what I would look for is Mercury or Venus. What do we have right now? Both Mercury and Venus visible in your first house. So I would say, fuck yes, do it up. I love that. Yeah, but really, I mean, I will pull cards, but I'll just say, like, if you're feeling the pull and you're thinking about it and you can afford it and it's what you want to do and you feel like it's something that's going to light you up, then do it. Go for it. You don't need anybody else's advice to tell you that. But I'll play ball. We can play, and I appreciate you asking. I think that's really sweet. What else do I see going on in your chart here? Hold on. So Mars is doing this really interesting thing right now where in its retrograde cycle, I mean, it stationed retrograde right on top of your moon, which rules your 7th house. In your 6th house, and it's now in the 5th. And anyway, so he's squaring your sun and your nodes. I know that sounds like gibberish to most people, but sorry, I'm talking out loud while I'm thinking and processing what I'm seeing here. Anyway, I could see the Mars retrograde kind of triggering this like this question of like which path is my path? Do I go forwards or backwards? Is there treasure back here for me, or do I need to just move forward? You know, that kind of thing. And of course, Mars is squaring your sun, so it's the sun typically represents like some kind of authority figure or even an inner vitality. Mars can both aggravate that or give it fuel, or both. Aggravation can be because of the fuel, you know what I mean? But and it's like willpower versus vitality. And it's sextiling your natal Mars in your 3rd house of learning. So, okay, so just based on the astrology alone, I would say yes, absolutely go for it. I feel like it's supported by what I'm seeing in the transits anyway. And I mean, if you really want to schedule like even like a half-hour session just to go over that a little bit more detailed, we can. But I'm gonna pull some cards and see what the tarot's got to say. I'm gonna say like based on just surface level looking at your chart, yeah, definitely go for it. Both planets that I would look to for like higher learning type stuff are visible in the 1st house. So I'm not surprised that this is something that you're thinking about right now. And I would say that it's probably a good move. So anyway. Also, Sean, if you wanted to publish anything, Captain Coots, now would be an excellent time to do so. Especially as the sun is moving into your 1st house. So maybe wait like a week, and then if you wanted to publish stuff, it'd be like a fucking ideal time. While the moon is growing, but also while the sun is moving into your 1st house for sure, and while Venus and Mercury are both still visible. Fuck yeah. Oh yes. Hey-ho. Should Sean join Taroscopes? Dude, I would love to have Sarion as a mentor. That'd be so sick. Badass. Taroscopes. One more. By the way, I'm also seeing in your chart that like you just had a birthday not terribly long ago. Well, September. But anyway, your next year is gonna be a year of deeper study. So that might be a really good time actually to be like really focused on deep research and stuff. Yeah. One more card. Come on. Oh, thank you. There it is. Oh, boom. Okay. I love this. Okay, my friend. So for you, we've got Strength just came out, aka Lust. So right off the bat, that's a yes card for me. Especially if doing something like tarot scopes helps you feel into the ecstatic, excited nature of life, right? Follow that. We also got the Four of Swords, which indicates some kind of deep research in this particular case. So again, deep research, deep study, and like meditation. Again, I think that's a yes. And then the Queen of Cups as well. So Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a figure that nurtures herself, that is psychically connected, and joining a mystery school will absolutely inspire some of that, right? As you're plugging into the network and studying the material and talking with other people that are in the school as well, you will be nurturing this sense of yourself, your psychic senses. And what's really cool about studying with somebody, like self-study is great and you can get really far with it, but there's stuff that you know, right? There's stuff that you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know, and you need another person to point that out to you, to be like, hey, have you thought of it like this? And what about this? So having other people around that can point out to you what you're missing is absolutely fantastic and will really accelerate all of your learning in the best way possible, really. Anyway, I love that the Queen of Cups is coming out. I think that she's also really asking you to stay focused on your creative endeavors and stuff that nourishes you on a creative level too, right? Plus with strength here too, right? So like both. I think that you should do it as long as you keep time to maintain the other things that help you feel good, right? And you might even find that diving into the kind of research and the kind of study that you want to is going to even like inspire and blossom even more, right? So I don't know. I think it's a fucking excellent thing that you should do. So go for it, dude. Go for it. Also, just looked at the bottom of the deck and we've got Justice on the bottom, which happens to be Libra. And in your particular map, Libra, your ninth house cusp of like higher learning and studies falls in Libra, but also it's the 10th sign. So I think you should go for it. Without going like super far into the current Venus cycle and all of that stuff and why it's a big deal. I think you should nourish this desire of yours. So yeah, fucking go for it, dude. Go for it. Oh shit. When did I it was like 240, 245. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Sorry guys, just 1 sec. I want to let him know what the timestamp was. Since he's not here. Okay. Oh, Rachel, Yuletide love. Got you, my dudes. Okay. A Yuletide card. A Yuletide card. Gordy, I love how much you love food, And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that about you. I also really appreciate Culinary Alchemy. That's one of my favorite channels, and everyone that contributes to that particular one is the best. Thank you for helping me tune into the Taurus. I don't know what chamoy is, though. Is that like a Mexican thing? I don't know. I don't know. Seriously, help. Oh man, your passion for healing through food comes through when you talk about it. All right? Your passion for healing yourself comes through when you talk about it. But I love the food. Okay. It's a Mexican thing? Okay. Can you post a recipe in the Culinary Alchemy for tuna fish with chamoy and help me make a Mexican dish? Because I need to learn how to do this. Okay. A card for Rachel and Jim. You guys are sweet. That was quick. Damn, son. Okay. So what I got for you guys is strength. AKA lust. Yeah. Yeah. You will, but that won't be it. Like you'll post the recipe, but it won't be good enough. Dang it. That's okay. Post it anyway. I'll do my best. Okay, anyway. Rachel, James, you got strength. It's appropriate that I use the Druid deck, I think. What you have is passionate. And I can see that there's aspects of this that help embolden and strengthen both of you. Or there's a potential there anyway. As long as that energy is being used in a responsible way. Right? This is a very creative bond. This is a very artistic bond. Both of you have strong artistic. Yeah, it does get a kind of look on his face. Both of you have got this super strong artistic selves and souls. And you're both thriving beautifully on your own in your own way. And to see it come together is really cool. Now, the important thing about the strength card that's like cannot be overlooked is she is not taming this wild beast through force. Oh, okay. I love you, Gordy. Anyway, she's not taming this sexual nature, this sexual energy through force. She does not have the boar at sword point. She has not tied it up. She has not possessed it or controlled it or boxed it in any way. It's still allowed to go wherever it needs to go, wherever it wants to go. She's channeling it, right? And I actually really love the art of this card. I freaking love it. She's lightly touching her chest, right? Her heart chakra, and lightly touching the boar. It's like, this is my energy and I am in control of it, but not because I'm suppressing it, because I'm allowing it to flow. I want to read from the book. it is. Strength. It is a sunny midsummer's day in hilly, mountainous country. White meadow flowers are growing, signifying freshness and new life. A strong, mature woman stands confidently beside a wild boar, which she has tamed simply with her presence and her touch. A sword lies unused to one side. The woman represents the power of the goddess within us, who is able to unite our animal instincts and the power of our sexuality and life force. I'm going to mispronounce this word, Nufri, with the strength of our awareness and compassion. The woman doesn't need to kill or hurt the boar with the sword of reason or power. She simply needs to stand in her own strength. Keywords: unconditional love, courage, faith, power with awareness, wild wisdom, compassion. The previous card, the Chariot, marks the completion of one phase of the journey, the path of the bard in the Druid tradition. The outer personality has been developed as a strong vehicle for work in the world. The self is in control. Here, in strength, the work goes deeper as the initiate enters the ovate training. The ovate works with the power of the life force, but rather than mastering this force in a masculine, controlling way, she allows it to flow through her in a creative and life-giving way, opening to the compassion and the healing power of the goddess. In this way, the spiritual and the animal, compassion, awareness, and the instincts are united, resulting in a deepening of the initiate's qualities of humanity. Strength can equally well be placed. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Significance. A central idea in Druidry and Wicca alike is that we need both the wild, natural self that exists, what's up, Jared, inside us, and the civilized or cultured self that is the result of our education and upbringing. Here in this card, we see their union. The boar represents the wild animal side of our nature, while the woman represents the more sophisticated cultural self. By uniting these two parts of ourselves, we become empowered in a way that connects us more deeply with our own humanity, and at the same time with our own divinity. This may indicate that you're entering into a deeper relationship with the forces of life and nature. Some spiritual and religious teachings tell us to shun these forces, but Druidcraft celebrates them, showing us how we can open our bodies and hearts to the energies that flow through the cosmos, which can heal, empower, and enliven us. This means learning to trust in life, learning to have compassion towards others and ourselves, and it means centering our lives in love. By doing this, the deeper mystery is open to us. Instead of our lives being ruled by our instincts, lusts, and passion, they're ruled by compassionate love, and these powers are then integrated with our humanity and our awareness. The result is a sense of mature strength that brings with it a faith in the ultimate goodness in life. The challenge is for us to honor and celebrate our sexuality in a way that causes no suffering, and yet in relationship, conflict is inevitable. Strength teaches us that we can develop mature strength of soul and character by not avoiding conflict, but by handling it with compassionate awareness, trust, and love. By doing this, we develop an ability to relate sexually and otherwise in a way that honors the natural flow of passion and life force, as depicted perfectly by the card's numerological counterpart, the star. Now, underneath the deck, I have the Ace of Swords reversed. I wanted to keep reading that because I kind of felt like that's interesting. Oh, there's the sword that's beside her. Actually, that's funny. Anyway, I wanted to keep reading that because I wanted to get to that last little bit about not avoiding conflict, because I saw the Ace of Swords reversed. I was like, So if there's things that need to be said, okay, so in relationships, if there's never any fighting, it's because there's no communication. So it's really important that while there's all this creative energy and all this like passion and all of that, all of this stuff all up in there, that you're openly communicating, right? Whenever anything happens, like I love that I started today with talking about shadow work and about being embodied and talking about the things that come up, There's only so much work that you can do on your own. There's only so much that you can actually like uncover and heal on your own. You need other people to reflect things back to you. And often, in fact, I would say always, the deeper stuff, the really deep shit, doesn't come out until you're in a union with somebody else. Because guess what? They trigger all of the things. So this is a very powerful thing, right? To be in union, especially with someone that is spiritually aligned, right? And if both of you are spiritually aligned and both of you are willing and able to trust one another and trust yourself to be able to talk about things as they come up, that is a powerful force to be reckoned with. So keep that in mind. And as things come up, because they will, it's not a matter of if, it's when. When they do, be open to talking about it with each other, right? That's the biggest thing, is trusting that you will be able to communicate and also trusting that you will be heard. And it's not fucking easy. Conflict resolution in relationship is hard work. It's not easy, but it's some of the most rewarding work that you could possibly do. So love you guys. You got this. Word. Okay. Also, if anybody wants to send me, I love you, buddy. Spoken from experience, friend. Yeah, so if anybody else wants a solstice reading, apparently I'm on fire, so do it up. Yeah, so I will finish Libra to Aries tomorrow. Yeah, oh, thanks, buddy. Finish Libra to Aries tomorrow. And yeah, if you didn't get in tonight and you do want a solstice reading, you can do it tomorrow too. That's fine. Also, if you're not going to be here live and you want to, you can always send something ahead of time and just like put in the comments, be like, hey, this is for tarot, and then I'll get to you for sure. Like, you'll be the first one in the queue, right? Yeah. Also, the words little sister always make me think of Queens of the Stone Age. Little sister, can't you find another way? No more living life behind the shadows. Little sister. Yeah. Facts. Okay, friends. Good night. Sweet dreams. Yeah, dude. I know you love Queens of the Stone Age. I love that shit. Sweet dreams. Have a lovely night. Happy solstice. Blessed solstice. Blessed Yuletide. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Yeah, dude. Dude, I love me singing tune. Yeah, next Wednesday I'm going to karaoke. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, dude. Oh, good. I'm glad. Love you guys. Enjoy your dinner. What dinner? What? It's like 10. It's 10 p.m. What the hell? Oh man. Next Wednesday, Vibrant karaoke. That would be fun. Oh my god, where's Chance? Chance, let's do it. He's gone already. He's like, you're not doing Aries? Fuck it, I'm out. Just a rage quits. Fuck. Yep. Oh yeah. Taurus eats when Taurus wants. Okay. Fair enough. Touche. Okay, for real though. Good night. Love you guys. I will continue this in the morning. Peace out.